Hello, gorgeous. It's Tara Kinden coming to you from Mermaid Cove, and we are stepping into a powerful heart-opening portal. This is the energy of summer solstice. It's also the start of Cancer season, and there is a cosmic lineup that is here to not play small. And this video is for you if you've been feeling that pressure to grow, but also a tender pull inward, where you are feeling the call to rest, to recalibrate, and to return to yourself. So we have the Sun and Jupiter who are meeting up in the gate of compassion. I'm going to talk to you today about the astrology, the human design, and I'm also going to break down a little bit about the summer solstice for those of you who want a little bit more details on what it is. So as the Sun and Jupiter meet up in the gate of compassion in your human design chart, it also is going to be making some wild squares over to Saturn and to Uranus, who are in Aries. And so what this whole entire chart is saying, if I break it all down, is that if you don't love yourself enough to receive, you are absolutely 100% going to miss the blessings that are really trying to find you. So let's break down the energy of the chart. Now, what is summer solstice? Why does it matter? So it's a moment where the sun enters 0 degrees of Cancer, which marks the longest day of the year here in the northern hemisphere. It's also a turning point of energy because it's the peak of our solar energy before we begin to kind of slowly descend back into the darkness. But essentially, here's the invitation to illuminate our truth. It's the portal of your soul's remembering. It's the seasonal shift from action into intuition. And this year, the solstice arrives with Jupiter and the Sun conjunct in Cancer. Hello, magic, miracles, and new beginnings, bringing this expansive emotional awakening and realignment to what actually matters to you. So you've probably already been feeling that pull, but this is just a confirmation if you're like, yes, I needed to hear that. Now, Cancer season themes, because that's what we're moving into. So Cancer rules the waters of emotion. Remember that ocean of emotion and the sacred home and hearth. It's the maternal heart-based energy. So it asks us to look at where we feel safe enough to soften. And where do we need to emotionally regulate and nourish ourselves better than we are? Because if we've been giving too much to other people, we're probably depleted and a little bit overwhelmed. So this season is the reminder to come home to your own sacred rhythm, whatever that is, reclaiming that softness and the lushness of life and healing the ways that you've been overgiving, overdoing, overproving, all of those things. This is about you coming back home to your worth, your value, and your energy. So let's talk about first the human design activations that are here. Let's talk about transits. I'm going to share my screen with you and show you the chart of this ingression. Okay, so here is the HD chart. Let's now talk about all the details. So you can see the Sun and Jupiter in the gate 15. This is the gate of compassion. This is about radical compassion. It's about starting, of course, with yourself first. This is around letting go of shame of not having perfect routines. So if you cannot seem to get your morning routine down on lock, it's fine. Give yourself a little bit of compassion. Maybe you're not designed that way, right? Stop sacrificing your heart to be the martyr in every situation or many situations. Tune into your own natural rhythm and just let that be enough. Like, it's okay. That's enough. You are enough just because you are here. This gate really expands your auric field when you're in flow, but it also can be a little bit contracting when you're not. And also, if you're storing any unprocessed anger, because this gate is attached to anger, especially in the liver, that's where the anger can be stored. It will create burnout, resentment, and it can potentially create some illness, which we don't want and we don't need. We need you healthy, happy, and vital, and with this beautiful big aura to share with the world. So this is a massive invitation to forgive yourself and to nourish yourself and let that begin to overflow. If you're feeling ungrounded at all during this time, the gate 10 is in the gate of self-love. So you're gonna you're gonna hear these repeating themes of compassion, self-love, acceptance, allowing, receiving, all of this. This is the vibes that we're in. So if you have a hard time with that, It's okay. It doesn't need to be perfect, but it is something that we're working towards in the season. It's an invitation. So to stay grounded during Cancer season, you will likely need to really deepen the true self-love. And we're talking about not spa days, but radical responsibility for how you actually treat yourself. The truth of that. Stop blaming, stop bypassing, own your creations and like let yourself love yourself through them, even if you fuck them up. It's okay. Like this gate is so tied to the liver. It's like another gate. You're going to hear this. There's like 3 or 4 gates that are totally tied to the liver. And so I'm like, that's interesting. Meaning unresolved resentment could potentially block your grounding energy. So if you're having trouble with that, finding, before I let you go today, I'm going to pause it and come and find the Bach flower to really help with this. So because it's really important. Yes, I will come back to that. So self-blame. Yes, I will come back. Okay, now let's go on to Venus. So Venus is in the gate 2, and this is the gate of allowing. Can you allow yourself to receive? This is a very receptive gate. Remember, she's really open. Venus wants us to be in our worth and our value. It is a frequency of flow and ease and abundance. But if you don't feel worthy enough, you may be blocking it. So you want to be able to let some support into your life and let the good stuff begin to reach you. If you're blocking it, you're preventing yourself from receiving all this juicy goodness, right? And again, gate 2 is another gate that is attached to the liver health and worthiness. Are you beginning to see the theme yet? So the North Node is in gate 22. The North Node is where we're going in this lifetime. It's an interesting gate of surrender, and it is of course in Pisces, which is about surrender. This is an emotional surrender and really trusting in divine timing, not forcing it, not faking it, just allowing yourself to be in the flow. So much easier to say than to actually be in. So allowing ourselves to allow to be open and surrender to the next right step without feeling panicked, feeling like, oh God, we need to do more, we need to be more, we need to hustle more. Like, no, what if we actually just slowed down and tiptoed through the tulips and smelt the roses to give ourselves peace and then space, because that is what will create the opening. Now the moon is out of bounds for this particular moment in time, and with the moon out of bounds, that means she is not behaving like she normally would. She's a little off script, she's doing things her own way, she is not following anybody's rules, and she could give 2 shits about anybody's rules. She is conjunct Chiron, even though Chiron is out of sign. Now I don't want to get into astro babble or get in the weeds for you, but they're still in the same gate. So they're in gate 3. This is the gate of innovation, and this is really about our ability to innovate in our lives, but it's not about taking it out right away. It's about sacredly holding on to the seed and nourishing it. Again, the more you nourish, the more the seed will grow during this time, okay? Hold your seeds close to you. Do not force their growth. Divine timing is for a reason. So we want to give it grace to grow, if that makes sense. So as that moon is out of bounds, the whole chart leans deeply into the feminine energy. The chart is heavily weighted in feminine, more feminine than masculine energy in the chart, which again reaffirms the idea of emotionality, the idea of intuition, the idea of receptivity, and it's about creating through that stillness. So we can just slow down, which is so easy to say and maybe hard for people to be able to do, but if you can do it, your manifestations are going to be out of this world. Okay. Now let's talk about Mercury, because Mercury is all about communication. He was also out of bounds for a very long time, but he will be back in bounds once this solstice and Cancer season begins. And he's in the gate 62, which is about preparation in Cancer. Okay, so Mercury says prepare, but don't overthink it. And that is our tendency to overthink it. So again, the reminder, your voice matters, your words matter, but don't let the fear of not feeling ready enough keep you from sharing. Now, yes, if you've got this top secret project, please do not go and share that until it's ready to be shared. But you can have this conversation with universe. You can have this conversation with people you trust and allow that throat-based energy. And of course, this is a thyroid alert. Use your voice for more aligned impact, or simply speaking to the universe if you're not ready. If you're just not ready to share it with everybody else, it's okay. Like, have that conversation. Now, this is one of the ideas I have behind the golden frequency, is that you came in here with a voice that no one else has the exact same tone, cadence, frequency, sound, all of the things. No one sounds like you. This is why we save voice notes from people that we love, because their voice, your voice, creates feelings in people. Like the fingerprint is, yes, it's unique, amazing, but it doesn't make me feel anything. It just identifies me. Your voice actually makes me feel, if I hear your voice, it's gonna make me feel a certain way. And there's a magic in that feeling. So I just want you to remember that, like, even if you hate the sound of your voice, somebody loves it. So if you can learn to love your voice and use it more often, this is the time. If there was ever a time for you to use your voice, this is it. Now let's talk about Mars, because Mars is how we take action. Mars is in the gate 59. This is the gate of sustainability. And of course, he's in Virgo. He was in Leo for forever. He was also in Cancer for a very long time, if you remember. But he's moved on into Virgo now. And this is where we're learning how to create and take things forward without depleting ourselves. Because we're coming off a lot of burnout. A lot of you are still burned out, right? So we're trying to make an impact without being burned out. We're trying to build something that's long lasting. There's also a tie to sexual energy here, creation, initiation, and desire. So keep that really intentional. Like, what are you intending to do with this creative energy that's bubbling within you? Use it for good, my friends. Use it for good. Okay, Saturn and Neptune in gate 25. This is the gate of spirit. They are in Aries together, and this is a big one because this is where we're being called to trust in divine order. So knowing that we matter, knowing that our life is absolutely irreplaceable, like once you're gone, your voice is gone with it. The only way for that to be preserved is through writings, through teachings, through using your voice, through leaving voicemails, for all of this. The videos that go up on YouTube last ideally forever until the platform is gone. You know, the energy of this gate 25 is also tied to the liver. So if you are holding on to any bitterness, any rage, any resentment, this transit could potentially expose that. So awareness is key. And again, I'm going to give you the Bach flower for compassion in a sec. So Uranus is in gate 8. Why this matters is because this is the gate of fulfillment. And this is the final degree of Taurus that he's in. And he's about to move into Gemini. But first, he's here to remind us, like, you're not for everyone. So who cares, right? You don't have to share your light with people who do not see your value and your worth. Authentic expression is so sacred here. And again, the throat shows up. This is a throat-based energy. And the throat's shown up a couple times already, right? Throat, liver. These are the two that you really need to protect right now or nourish, okay? This is throat energy again and again and again. It's about authenticity. It's about visibility. It's about your soul-aligned communications. And you're going to feel an urgency here to really reclaim your voice. So you're seeing a lot of protests right now. You're seeing a lot of people speaking up. You're seeing a lot of people taking action. Make sure your action is aligned with your authentic voice, not with the voice of somebody else's, because your voice is very sacred and it's very important. Now, let's kind of wrap it up here. So this solstice chart is really an emotional initiation. If you haven't been feeling like you've been initiated enough this year, well, here's your emotional initiation. Be kind to yourself, please. Let go of timelines, pressure, and perfection, because it ain't gonna happen. Like, it could happen so much faster than you could have ever imagined if you let yourself get into that surrendered flow and just let it be easier for yourself. You know, love yourself enough to maybe stop giving your power away if you've been giving it away to undeserving folks, undeserving places, undeserving communities. Like, take it back. and be open to receive what's already seeking you. This is also something that I think, it could be just here waiting for you to open up, to receive the magic that is there for you. Are you ready? I hope so. And so there's a deep emphasis in this chart on the liver, on the thyroid, and on the sacral center. That's like that gut level knowingness, and it's where we create from. So this isn't just energetic, this is actually physical. You are going to feel this in your nervous system, in your digestive system, and your hormones are responding to your level of self-love. So if you've been waiting for a sign to soften, if you've been waiting for a sign to recalibrate that heart-based energy, like this is it. Okay, so I'm just going to drop that chart for a minute here. So this is pine, and these are Bach flowers. You can get these at your local health food store and wellness store. And so pine is about self-blame and guilt. It's about over-responsibility, and it's about like apologizing for everything or trying to be like, oh, I'm sorry, like it's my fault. Like any feelings of unworthiness and really coming back into yourself, this is the vibe. So I highly recommend grabbing that one. They're not expensive. They're wonderful to have around. If you even can just get the rescue remedy, this can just help through this emotionally transitional time, is what I recommend for using as far as Bach flowers go. Let's pull also just a couple of cards for the energy of what we're under here in case I'm missing something or you need to hear something else. I'm like the shittiest shuffler. Like I will never be a card dealer. That is facts. All right, so let's pull a couple cards here. All right, number one is patience. It's hilarious. I pulled that this morning for the women in my my membership. Have fun, which I feel like this is that releasing and surrendering and just letting yourself. We think about releasing and surrender. Oh my God, there's two of these cards I literally pulled this morning for my girls. Timing and patience. And I actually joked because I said, if there were two cards that I could burn in the deck, these are the two cards I would legitimately burn because I'm not a very patient person and I want to always push timing. That's just who I am. So this is the energy, is that there needs to be some patience in the process, in the journey. There is always divine timing. We cannot rush timing. And we have to be able to find a way to lean into the surrender. Look, I'm telling you this information, but I'm also using it for myself. Whether I use it perfectly or not, that seems to be discovered. And then having fun. So allowing yourself to have a good time and to not feel like everything has to be so hard all the time. So again, let me also, one thing I didn't do today was I did not share the astrology chart with you. So let me just share this with you so you can kind of see the energy of the chart. And so here we have everything we talked about, that North Node in Pisces. We have Saturn and we have Neptune here in Aries. We talked about the moon being conjunct Chiron, and that was like out of sign because the moon is out of bounds in Taurus, but she's still in the same gate here. And we just want to be aware of that energy. And then of course, Venus and the Earth are very close together. We have Uranus about to move into Gemini. And this is this blessing here. The most blessed time of the year will be next week. And it's going to be fabulous. And then we have the Mercury, who is in Cancer as well, making a trine over to that North Node. Where are we going? How are we moving forward? How are we using our voices to move forward? And then we have this Mars over here also making a trine to the moon. So we've got a lot of trines and we do have some squares, but I mean, the challenges are here to help us. When we have squares, oppositions, it's an integration, it's an invitation. It's like you have to move from a 90-degree to stand up. That's a square, right? So we always have a little bit of challenge to move to the next level, the next layer. So this blessing is actually over here challenging this idea of the spirit, right? Do we believe that we are being supported by something bigger than ourselves? So that's the invitation and the question. So as I'm signing off today, if you would love to go deeper into your golden frequency, what makes your voice unique and different, I would love, love, love to help you dive deeper into your design and anchor into the rhythms that are actually working for you naturally. You can get more details on the Worthy Woman method because we are live now. We will be opening, the doors are open. We will be running this group program starting July the 2nd. It's going to be such a beautiful experience. More tools, more teachings. And here's the truth, like, the more you love yourself, the more magnetic that you can actually become. This is never ever about being more. This is about being fully you in authentic alignment. So thank you everyone so much for being here, making space to feel new things, to nourish yourself, to let go of all these extra expectations. You can always listen to the podcast in between the next videos, the Tara Kinden audio experience, and I will link that below as well. So again, thank you so, so, so much for being here. And until next time, take care, everyone. Bye-bye.